Is he in the vehicle?
Yeah. I'm at Race Church Road. I went to Waynesboro to bring this man down to this address. And now he's trying to force his way into a house. I'm afraid to move my vehicle. They're fighting in there.
Is it inside the house now?
Yeah.
You have your doors locked?
It's open. I'm in a van.
You need to make yourself safe, okay? Even if you've got to drive away from there to get away from him and close that and lock that door. Do that for me now, please.
Okay, wait a minute.
And boom, here we are. Hey guys, how is everyone? Yeah. So Adam, I was soundly sleeping, I'll just say that. And then Adam told me about some breaking news. So I called the Miami County courts and I got them to send me over the paperwork for it within regards to Kegan Kline. So we're going to show you the paperwork for that in a second. So yeah, and I think it's going to say a lot about probably some information that was handed over in exchange for different plea that will be probably going on. You'll see in a second. So yeah. But anyways, of course, welcome to this live. Again, we're doing this live impromptu, obviously. And thank you guys for coming. And
Sunny thought she was going to get a nap today, but I had other plans.
I thought I was going to get a nap. I got to go to the dentist in just a little bit here. So I was like, oh, let me get a nap. And I barely had any sleep. But anyways, whatever, right? It is what it is. But first off, before we get started with anything, guys, I want to, of course, congratulate Aspen on
becoming a YouTube partner.
Becoming a YouTube partner. Aspen's channel is now monetized thanks to all you people that have subscribed over to him, and he reached his goal of 4,000 watch hours and over 1,000 subscribers. So I want to say congratulations to my co-host and partner,
thank you,
Aspen Connor. So
thank you
for that.
We'll go head on over to my channel and watch some ads.
Exactly. So okay, so you guys, so let's get into it again. It's to do with the Kegan Kline. I got the paperwork, like I said, from the county clerks there. Once Adam told me that the docs pop was out, I'm looking at my alerts, Adam, and I'm going, why didn't I get an alert? And I realized because I didn't have them on alerts. I was looking for Richard Allen stuff for some reason. But anyways,
I do want to quickly, if you don't mind, I do want to quickly say thank you to the friend of mine that sent me this information before it was public, a fellow Canadian, but on the other side. But thank you very much. You know who you are.
Absolutely. You know, it always takes more than just us, absolutely, to you know, with information that comes along. Sometimes it's us that simply gets it, and other times it's people that are giving us information and providing. And so to that person that gave Adam the information, and then Adam, of course, gave it to me, and then we went and got the paperwork for it. So I'm going to share it with you. And there is, Adam, do you know who this person is?
Hey, crime scene in the courtroom.
Not really sure who's Who's that?
Right.
Is that John?
It is. Before we start reading the documents, just really quickly, so like the friend of mine that sent me this, apparently what it is just a very quick overview is that apparently Kegan Kline has changed his plea, or he has filed a motion to change his plea. So as I'm not sure if it's technically he's considered he's changed his plea, but he's filed a motion to change his plea, and he there was a response to that motion approving it. So we'll read the documents and you'll get more details, but that's just a quick overview. But there won't be a trial now, and I'm thinking plea deal maybe. But all right.
Yeah. And this live won't be too long. It's simply to give you guys this update and whichever. Adam, I'll read the first one and then you can read the response. Okay.
Okay.
Or sorry, do you have yours open?
I have to pull it open really quick. Sorry.
Okay.
Let's see which one is that.
Let's see here. Okay, so let me take us off screen. And here, that should be good. Give you guys like 200%. Okay, so this is dated obviously for today's. Thank you, Adam. This is dated for obviously today's date of the 3rd of the 20th of 2023 of Miami County, Indiana. Okay, obviously versus Kegan Kline. And all of us are always, of course, very interested in Kegan Kline and what's going on there. So motion to lift pretrial conference and jury trial and schedule for a change of plea hearing. So it comes now, the defendant Kegan Kline by counsel Andrew A. Agee, and respectfully request that the courts lift the pretrial conference scheduled on March 30th of 2023 at 10 a.m. and the jury trial scheduled on May 10th, 2023 at 8 a.m. May 11th, 2023 at 8 a.m. You know what? Those are just a bunch of dates. We can get by those. Okay. So schedule this matter for a change of plea hearing. Okay, guys? A change of plea hearing. So not so innocent, but let's use the word guilty. He's going to plead guilty. According to what this is showing, it's going to happen. In support of said motion, defendant states as follows. 1, this matter is currently set for a pretrial conference, and then there's a bunch of dates.
All the dates again.
Yeah, not even going to read those out. That would just bore you guys. 2, that the parties have negotiated a proposed resolution in this cause of action. Really, so they have negotiated a proposed resolution in this cause of action. Okay,
could that
3,
mean
that the
deal?
Go ahead.
Sorry. I said, could that mean a plea deal?
Yeah, plea deal? No. You think? No.
Anyway,
no.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I apologize.
No, that's okay. 3, that the prosecutor, Courtney B. Elwine, was what you gonna do? Thank you, subscriber. Has been notified of this motion to continue, and she has no objection to the motion to continue. 4, that this motion to lift the pretrial conference and jury trial and schedule for a change of plea hearing is not being made to unnecessarily delay the proceedings. And 5, that any delay resulting from this motion to lift, basically that number 4 just meant that they're not doing it as a tactic to try to, delay
stall.
things and stall. 5, that any delay resulting from this motion to lift the pretrial conference and jury trial and schedule for a change of plea hearing shall be attributable to the defendant for purposes of the Indiana Rule of Criminal Procedure 4. Wherefore, counsel for the defendant was, pardon?
Sorry, I thought I was going to take over. But
I was going to bring up the response in a sec for you there, Adam. So basically, court counsel for the defendant respectfully requests that this court issue an order lifting the pretrial conference scheduled and then a bunch of dates and schedule this matter for change of plea and for all other and just and proper relief in the premises. I certify, blah, blah, blah stuff. Okay. So that is that one. Now let me go over to, I think I have to open up the different window, or can you guys see that one? Nope. I think I have to.
No.
I have to stop the screen to open up the other window, share screen. Okay. The response. Okay.
Right.
And let me bring this closer.
And
there you go.
What this basically, just says is the response to the defendant's motion to lift pretrial conference and jury trial and schedule for a change of plea hearing comes now the state of Indiana by Courtney B. Elwine, Deputy Prosecuting Attorney, and respectfully notifies the court that the parties have not negotiated a proposed resolution in this cause of action. Any plea of guilty would be without a plea agreement from the state. Well, there's our answer.
Yeah.
And the sentence would be determined entirely at this court's discretion. Furthermore, the state does not object to settling this matter for a change of plea hearing. However, the state would respectfully request the court convert the March 30th, 2023 hearing already scheduled rather than continue this matter any further. The state would additionally request that the court not vacate the jury trial until any plea of guilty is entered. And then signed and dated. So, well, that's interesting, though.
Go ahead, Adam.
Because, I mean, I guess that clearly means there, it says right there, no plea deal.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe Kegan's still holding on to one little card in his pocket or something.
Right. Yeah, I know I was looking at that wording there as you were reading it. So any plea of guilty would be without a plea agreement from the state, and the sentence would be determined entirely on this court's discretion. Right. So Smiley Miley, this is to do, okay. So Kegan Kline has never been indicted or charged for anything to do with the Delphi case. This is for the CSAM case going on. So now, although many of us think that the Kegan Kline is tied in, of course, to the Delphi, and some people don't now as time goes on, this is regards to the biggest CSAM ring that happened because in the Delphi case, that to do with the black mask incident that happened at one of the girls that was at the sleepover. So a black mask incident that we've never ever seen a record of happened. But the reason why, of course, that Ellie got to know about the CSAM is because, well, they got to know of Anthony Shots. Okay. So once they had Anthony Shots, the fake account, then of course they could attach that back to Kegan Kline, which in turn led them to the biggest CSAM ring in Indiana because of his phone. So that's what this part is to do with. And yeah, so what do you guys think in chat over there? There's 51 people watching, so what about you, Adam?
Yeah. I'm a little bit surprised that there may not have been some sort of arrangement. I doubted that the state of Indiana had to give him anything significant. I mean, I think it's safe to say they have him on the CSAM charges that he was going to trial for. The only avenue that I thought that they would make any sort of arrangement with him for was if he provided information that related to Delphi.
Right.
And if, unless he's holding a card in his pocket, I would say that, they feel confident that they have whatever information from him they have. And I doubt it's anything to do with Delphi, other than the fact that he was victimizing Libby online.
Yeah. I mean, in the other document there, it said that there would be a change of plea and that they, so obviously if they're looking to lift the pretrial, looking to lift the trial, and a change of plea. So yeah.
Right. I am glad that the state has asked that they keep the March 30th date. And I can't see any reason the defense could argue that, considering they were supposed to be ready for the hearing that day anyway.
If you didn't get a notification, it's probably because, let me tell you, okay, so the way YouTube works is this, and you're welcome, Smiley Miley. That's a nice name, by the way. Yes. The reason why you wouldn't get a notification, sadly, is because we did a live last night, a couple lives actually, and then I already put out 2 videos today. Now, the way that YouTube works is that you're allowed to have 3 notifications within a 24-hour period. So if that's why you didn't get because I know that there would be probably a lot more people in here right now with regards to this information. But it is what it is. Sometimes, you just do things. I put a couple of videos. I put one out with, of course, Scotty Morris. And then I put one out with regards to Buster Murdaugh you know, talking about for the Stephen Smith case for the Murdaugh. So that's why, okay, that some people won't get a notification for that simple reason. Just the way YouTube works. It really kind of sucks, to be honest with you, but it's just the way it works.
But Jamie, if
But
you could
yeah,
just go ahead and like refresh YouTube once an hour, you might get lucky, and just do that every day, every hour, and you won't miss anything.
yeah, absolutely. And also, anyone that's in the private Facebook group will be putting the PDF up on there, and I'll put it to the community page as well for you
Okay.
guys in a few minutes. I have put it up on Twitter as well. And that, I want to give a shout out to Docket on Twitter. Docket
Mm-hmm.
is a guy that always has a ton of information that he's putting out with different cases all the time. Now, that's not where we got this one, Miami County. I called them and they sent it to me. I must have called the wrong number at first because the lady from the county jail said, "Let me just put you through to the captain."
Oh, you
Like,
called the county jail accidentally instead of the clerk's office?
well, yeah, I was actually asking for the number, like to call, like what number I would call, because you know how when you type in Miami, it wants to give you actually like Miami, Florida, and stuff like that. But anyways, so do you just want to do a quick overview, Adam, to the people that are just coming in?
Yeah, sure. So apparently, these documents are dated today. So this is very recent. It's been what, I think 2 hours, 3 hours ago that someone sent it to me now. But apparently Kegan Kline has filed a motion to change his plea in the CCM charges that he's facing trial for, which by all accounts, then because the prosecutor and have accepted the motion to change the plea, there won't be a trial. But they did specify that there's not a plea deal in the that this is no deal, nothing like that. So
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see what happens now, because I think everyone was kind of on that same page as far as if he were to because we all know Keegan's a coward, and if Keegan were going to plead guilty to something that could put him in jail for a long time, I would have thought he had to have felt like he was getting something from it.
yeah,
So I'm curious the benefit for him, to be honest.
yeah. And on the response back, you guys, it says again right here that any plea of guilty would be without a plea agreement from the state.
Right.
That in there says, enough.
Well,
And then that the sentence would be determined entirely at this court's discretion.
exactly, Ivy Rose. Because if Kegan Kline is not benefiting from this, there has to be something he's trying to continue to hide. And if that, I'm sorry.
Maybe he's looking back because he didn't get his honey buns.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Or is he just too afraid to see his dad on the stand for the prosecution? He doesn't want to face daddy.
Because don't forget, you guys, like that witness list came out and his dad was on it. Right. Kind of forgot about that, to be honest.
The timing of that is actually kind of interesting as well. If you think about the fact that they made that witness list public, which they don't always do this far in advance of a trial. Do you think that could have been maybe to scare him?
I was going to say, do you think that I thought that was a little bit weird that we actually had access to their witness list? I thought it was a strange, I don't know.
They put it right out there.
I know. And I don't know that that's a normal thing that goes on. That they stick out a witness list.
They do have to have a witness list, but they don't always publicize it like that months ahead of the trial. And I thought it was weird at the time, and it makes me wonder: was that a tactic? Was Kegan, were they in negotiations trying to see if he had anything else to say, and it stalled, and so they were like, you know what? Okay, well, here's what we have. Here's what here's who you're gonna have to sit here and listen talk about you. And it was Dirk Hayes. It was
Dirk Hayes.
It was his dad. It was Vito. It was Allie Conklin, his girlfriend.
Yeah, he was probably like, "Oh, I'm hooped." So,
or was he afraid of something someone might say?
Yeah, well, exactly, right? Who knows?
Or is he protecting someone? There's so many, you can still go so many ways with it.
I know. Do you guys, so I want to ask you guys in here that are watching right now, again, one, if you think that Kegan Kline is tied with Delphi, and two, if you don't, simple as that. Or three, if, you're kind of, on the fence still, I guess. Yeah. Hi, Ivy Rose. How are you guys? Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Jamie Hicks. Again, I want to congratulate Aspen, which also known as Adam, but Aspen, on his channel being monetized today. He got that good news back from YouTube. So he is now a YouTube partner.
My second try.
Yeah. So thank you guys for that have subscribed to Adam on his channel over there on Aspen Corner. And yeah, so and also don't forget, you guys, Deb from True Crime Notebook, who used to be on It's a Crime and Shame as well. Support her channel as well.
Yeah.
Great people, just great people. I love supporting great people, good people, good, genuine, honest people.
You're talking about Deb, not me, right?
Yeah, we like supporting.
Ivy Rose says, even if he isn't covering something specific, CSAM charges or cases are probably very embarrassing no matter what. And, Ivy, when I read some of the messages that he had, not between Kelly Aaron and not between Mike Lilith, the biggest thing that stood out to me in a lot of those messages was he wasn't afraid of he didn't seem to be afraid of the charges. He didn't seem to be afraid of what he had done. He didn't seem to be remorseful. He several times mentioned that he just couldn't understand how for the rest of his life he would have to be a registered SA or SO. So it was never about the victims. It was never about anything like that. It was all about him and all about how do I save my own behind. I mean, if I were sitting in jail since 2020, I think having a registered SO thing attached to my name is the least of my worries. I would just want out of jail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did he? Well, I mean, they're asking to lift the pre-trial and the trial conference there, Eileen. And to change a plea, it says.
Right.
Okay, let me go.
As of what the state says, Elaine, I would assume on March 30th, unless they do delay it, on March 30th, he'll formally enter a guilty plea. So even though he's changing his plea, he technically hasn't done it yet.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Hey, Doctology. That erased phone was, whoops. Who's trying to call me? Alberta. Oh. Decline. Sorry. That's going to be a scam call. It always is. I was holding my phone in my hand and my hand went off. Whenever I see it's Alberta, I know it's a scam. It's never my son calling me. So let me just pull back up the other one for a sec, you guys. Share screen. That was the response. And this one here was the motion to lift the pretrial conference. Okay. So again, basically, this is all the dates and times that they're asking to lift. This matter is currently set for a pretrial on March 30th, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. And then down here, it says the parties have negotiated a proposed resolution in this cause of action. The prosecutor, Courtney B. Elwine, has been notified of this motion to continue, and she has no objection to this motion to continue. That this motion is to lift the pretrial conference and jury trial and schedule for a change of plea hearing is not being made to unnecessarily delay the proceedings. So basically,
Absolutely.
to say that they're not stalling. That any delay from this motion to lift the pretrial and jury trial and schedule for a change of plea shall be attributable to the defendant's purposes of the criminal procedure form. Okay, so yeah, that just becomes about, don't be sitting there trying to going over the court on there. Yeah, so again, for anyone coming in, this is in relation to the CSAM only, okay? This has, Kegan Kline has never had any charges put against him for Delphi. It's just a matter of us, waiting to see if at some point that Kegan Kline is tied in with the Delphi. But because of Delphi, this led to another parallel line with Kegan Kline of all this, the biggest Indiana CSAM ring. Okay, so not to confuse anyone, when they're talking about Kegan Kline, there's no charges brought against him whatsoever to do with Delphi.
Yeah, but he does have what? Well, he originally had 30 some charges. They dropped, was it 5 of them?
5. I think it was 5.
So I mean, he still has upwards of 25 to 27. I think somewhere between 25 and 30 existing charges that he's going to be pleading guilty to. So, I mean, I'm sure that he will be credited with time served in some of this, but I mean, he should still have to serve some time. Maybe he really did. Maybe he really was afraid of what would come out at that trial that might that might connect him to Delphi, and then he'd have bigger problems on his hands.
Yeah. I mean, there's obviously something. So if there's no plea deal that was given, there's something there that's stopping that, is making him change the plea. I'm sure that the lawyers have spoke. They have this hard evidence on him. And I'm sure, like I said, with the witness list coming out and the people that are on it, and this is like a humiliation. Like if he had to sit in there too, he was probably holding out to the last moment that he couldn't anymore, to be honest with you.
Right. I mean, they probably took his Rolex. They sorry, so go ahead, Sonny.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that one thing I think that'll be really interesting to hear is, well, one, I hope that, well, I guess cameras in Indiana don't have to go in courtrooms until May 1st, and then it's still up to the judge. So this probably won't be televised. But I'm sure we'll know people that are in the hearing on the 30th, because it'll be really interesting to hear what Kegan has to say. If he just simply changes his plea and says guilty, or will he have to, give some sort of explanation or make a statement?
Yeah, just one of those random guess things. If anyone was to guess how much time you think Kegan Kline would get, I wish we had like a little pool thing, right? What do you think, Adam?
It all depends on if they make him serve the like if they make him serve the sentences consecutively or concurrently. Because if he still has, say, 25 charges, and each of them carry a certain sentence. If they do them, consecutively, it's one thing, and if they do them concurrently, it's a whole different story. So
yeah, definitely.
I wonder if they'll do sentencing. Does Indiana do sentencing on the same day as if someone issues a plea, or does the judge then take it into consideration? I think that's how it is. Well, sometimes they'll issue a. Remember, like Alex Murdoch, they did the sentencing the next morning, whereas a lot of times courts will schedule then the sentencing hearing out for later. So it'll be interesting to find out if after he pleads guilty, how long we have to wait before we find out his sentence. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Fibro saying, will that hearing be open to the public?
It's a court. It's a U.S. courtroom, so it is open to the public, but it doesn't mean it's open to cameras.
Right. Yeah. Anytime that he's over in court, there it's open to the public.
Yep.
You know.
You can get a seat.
Yeah. But yeah, so I guess, like I said, oh man, I just want Delphi to freaking get solved here in a sense too. Do you know? I just want to know.
Today is not that day. Sorry.
Today is not that day. I'm going to hold that one close to our vest. We actually do know, but we're not going to tell you because we're going to hold that one close to our vest. No.
Yeah, it's very doubtful then we'll hear anything about Delphi with, in regards to Kegan's plea hearing or sentencing even. Although I'll be interested to see if any victims go to, or victims' families go to do a statement at the sentencing. Because they give the family members of a victim or the victim an opportunity to kind of say something as far as like to help motivate the judges how to sentence the person. So
Yeah, Deb never goes to those things. I don't think she would. Deb usually doesn't. Deb's never gone to those things. Yeah. So you'd have to ask Deb.
Yeah. And SP says, I would think the sentence is part of the deal, but actually no. I mean, it says very clearly in the response that there is no plea deal, which means the state has given him nothing in return for his change of plea. So it will be up to the court, meaning the judge.
Yeah. I would have liked to have heard that there was a plea deal of some sort, because then that would have probably. I don't know. I know that you would like what?
I would like information, of course. But I mean, if I'm one of those victims or one of those victim family members, that would dig a little bit when if someone got a deal.
Wouldn't it be the damnedest thing though, if it truly never attached?
Absolutely.
Wouldn't it be the damnedest thing? Like
it would be the coincidence of coincidences.
It would be like that perfect storm that you know what I mean? Like I don't believe it. I still believe that Kegan Kline has everything to do with knowledge of Delphi and his participation in the lure or something like that. He's
even if it's just online.
Yeah. But it would be the damnedest thing if it wasn't. It would. Yeah. I would literally, I don't even know. I'd probably dig my own grave 6 feet under, to be honest with you. Bury myself.
Well, then he's the most unlucky POS that I've ever seen.
Yeah. She just
no.
Why didn't Kelly just go dangle some honey buns in front? Come on, give me a nibble. Give me a nibble. Anyways, so again, to anyone coming in and watching this is about the CSAM's part of Kegan Kline. This is, remember guys, that none of this has anything to do with Delphi. We were kind of hoping that we would see, like a hint that, hey, he's going to give up some more information with Delphi, or perhaps. But this is simply to do with the CSAM part of the largest, of course, CSAM ring in Indiana. So it says that there is no plea deal, that there's going to be motion for whatever you call it, a change of plea.
Most likely on the March 30th, unless they don't, but I doubt they will.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so fascinating to think about, because if you look back to that interrogation, yes, they can lie in an interrogation, and I mean, they could have been trying to fish for information from Kegan, but I mean, look at how much of that interrogation of him was related to Delphi. And then you see Vito and Clinton on the witness list for Kegan Kline's trial, and you also see the FBI agent that wrote the warrant for Ron Logan. And I'm like, is this all? What if it's really not attached, other than Libby was unfortunately being victimized by two different people that were unrelated, and that's what. What if that's what Doug Carter meant by tentacles? Maybe.
You know what, Adam, there's no way that some moron, including Kegan Kline, well, no, he is a moron, to be honest, that he would literally change the date on his Facebook to working on Las Vegas on February 13th, right? Pretending like he was working over in Vegas. There would have been no need for that unless you had guilty knowledge.
Right. But what if that guilty knowledge was of a different crime that he had committed against Libby, and he was like, "Oh, I'm going to get tied into this now." Because I mean, what does a rat do best? Run and survive. I know Kegan's not going to run. But...
I just want to do this with this case.
I know.
with Delphi and Kegan
I,
Kline stuff.
I still think he has to be involved somehow, whether it be just online. I don't know, but
You know, each night I go to bed because this will always put me to sleep right away.
and
Each
think
night
about
I go to bed. Well, I think what I'm thinking about is what is the possible connection from Kegan Kline to little, banana pants there, Richard Allen. Shame on you, Richard
Right.
Allen. Yeah. But what is
Sonny, are you frozen or am I? Sonny. You guys, is Sonny frozen or am I? Okay, it's Sonny. Sonny, you're frozen.
no, but are you like, yeah, my internet just dropped.
Oh,
Thank
weird.
goodness it came back. Was that, did I at least have a good look on my face when I froze, or did I get like
Most
three chins out?
most beautiful I've ever seen you.
Sure, I can just look back at this live later.
Um,
I'm just-
well, after you finish what you were saying that we didn't hear, I wanted to. Sorry.
I would. I think what I was simply saying was that, besides possibly the Peru connection, because obviously Richard Allen's family, mom and dad or whatever, had a home in Peru. So besides that, and Craig Renfro, perhaps, other than that, I'm stumped as
Yeah.
crap when it comes to Richard Allen's connection. I mean, it would be nice if somebody just would, email me and tell me exactly the connection. I'll forget.
Oh, did I forget to tell you?
What?
The connection. I forgot. Oh, I must have forgot to tell you about that.
Tell me. Oh, I
Yeah.
see. Okay.
Let me see if I can remember.
Yeah.
Can I answer Indie Pam really quickly?
Yeah.
Indie Pam, yeah, line 2 does say that the parties have negotiated a proposed resolution in the cause of action, but all that necessarily means is that they've agreed to the fact that he can change his plea. So, because if you read the response to the motion, which we showed as well, it says very specifically that there's no plea agreement and no sentencing agreement.
Bonnie, I don't think so. Why would he get his stuff from CVS? Well, when they in Delphi, that wouldn't make sense. I'd still like to know about the Marathon gas station.
That'll be interesting.
Because why is it anything that could give evidence? I mean, besides they've totally flubbed in the first place, but why is it that anything that could have gave evidence, there's nothing about it? And that we have never ever seen proof either about that.
No, we
to be
haven't.
honest with you, it's
That could have been a source lying. Are you frozen again, Sonny?
No, I was just looking at my phone. Sorry, emails are coming in.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, Kegan was on medication, but yeah. Oh, you answered that. Freckle Joy says Kegan has epilepsy. Yeah, but he still wouldn't drive 45 minutes to the CVS in Delphi. I've always maintained that if there's a connection directly between Kegan and Richard Allen, I believe the most likely scenario would have been something involving connection with his daughter, or my thing I think is probably most likely is that they unintentionally ended up catfishing each other online and somehow made a connection and met through that.
Okay. I don't know that I first of all, sorry, Ivy, no offense. When it comes to those putrid channels and those putrid people, I won't even indulge in anything that those people say. Their heads are spinning around their own selves there. Wife Lilith, all she is a bunch of, she's full of crap. She's a liar. She's full of it. I won't even entertain any of those people at the bottom of the barrel manure piles for what they say. They're a joke. What they say is a joke. All they do is put out a bunch of crap, and simple as that. So no offense to you on that one, Ivy Rose, but I don't even like to entertain those names in this chat whatsoever. It's just, I mean, anyone that knows them, knows that you don't believe in what they say. They have no clue what they're talking about. My vote is them meeting online. What's this? Hi, Jacqueline. What's this one say? I just saw you were live. Very excited to hear what's going on. Thank you for sharing with us. You're welcome. I mean, again, it was just, the latest update. A friend of Adam's sent him over the information from, because, like you get the alerts, then Adam sent it to me, and I called the Miami County Courts and got the paperwork for it. So if anybody doesn't know that you do that, that's all you need to do if you're following the case. And then just bringing it to you guys and, talking about it, to be honest with you. I was going to say something and now I forget.
Well, while you're thinking of that, it'll be interesting also, with Kegan pleading, because, they have said that, that opened up the largest sea salmon ring in Indiana history. And so I wonder how many cases that are related to it are still outstanding and how many of them now will be probably more pressured into changing their pleas because Kegan will have pleaded guilty again for his. So.
Yeah. Well, there has been others involved in his CSAM because he used a Dropbox. Yeah. BRA was a paying customer. I mean, trust me, I could see the dude doing that for sure.
Oh, she froze again.
I did? Am I freezing? Am I freezing? Adam.
Yep, I'm here.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Was that me or you? That was weird. Sorry.
Now you're lagging.
I know. Wow. Is it better now?
No, you're still lagging a bit.
All right, I'll come back. I'll be right back.
I think you're good. Hold on. I think you're good now. Talk.
Oh, am I good?
Hey, Adam.
Hey.
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay. That's weird.
Think about. I was like, am I dropping again? Again, for the people coming in, Adam, can you just do a quick refresher again?
Yeah. So, I mean, these court papers today, it just says that Kegan's attorney, this is a motion to change his plea arrangement. So basically, he is changing his plea from not guilty to guilty. The prosecutors agreed, and that would then forego a trial. And then the response to the motion specifically states that Kegan's entering into this agreement with no plea deal. So I would assume March 30th is the day that his pretrial motion was set for, and they're now asking that be the day that they do the plea change hearing.
Freckled Joy, little drinky, just a random thought. Okay, so if you guys didn't know this, this will be your knowledge for today besides this live. Did you know that orange trees are in the evergreen family, and an orange is pretty much the same thing as a pine cone? If you did not know that, now you do.
She just read about her orange. Well,
you just read.
Yeah.
Oh, that was funny. I'm like, wait.
So, and for anyone that's just coming in, I'm sorry, Sunny.
No, go ahead.
I say for anyone that's just coming in, I mean, we've read the documents and we've kind of discussed them, and then I think the thing that makes it the most interesting is what about now has made Kegan change his mind, especially without a deal, because there has to be something that's made him just voluntarily decide I'm going to plead guilty, and you don't have to give me anything in return.
you know, I mean, I'm sure they went through the list of what is going to happen. I mean, I would like, you know how they say that, like a lot of these turn out to be, settled before because of the embarrassment of
Right.
sitting on the stand and, like that would be just knowing the people that were on the list that would have to be giving up some information there. Who knows?
Right.
There's a reason. There's obviously a reason. It's
It's
not
Courtney.
probably for the reason we want, but
Right.
maybe. I don't know. No, I mean, it doesn't make sense. I mean, he got 5 dropped because those charges probably couldn't be, held in a sense. So if he has the same charges and yet is pleading guilty, then he obviously probably didn't. Unless no, because there's no plea agreement, so it wouldn't really make sense.
Well, there's a plea agreement, not a plea deal.
Right. Yeah. Right. Hi Alexa. How are you, my love? Um, so let's see here. My mind is like an overflowing dumpster of random, somewhat useless information. Yeah, I can't say that mine is. My husband, I would say, has one of those minds. Mine, as I get older, just comes in, goes out, comes in, goes out.
Right.
It has a lot of information, but it doesn't retain like some people. Some people, like, just have that ability just to retain a lot of useless knowledge, but it's knowledge. And I don't even want to call it useless because at some point, like the orange juice or the orange container that Freckled Joy read off of there, that becomes something I didn't know about the pine cone thing. It's like reading John's bathroom readers. You guys ever read those John's
No.
bathroom readers while you're sitting there and having a number 2 or whatever, and you sit there with that bathroom reader and you read all the different things about Advil or aspirin and all those different things. They're quite interesting if you've never read those, the bathroom readers. That's But this thing is that it never sticks. One thing out of 100 things will stick from that book. Yeah. RA and TK knew each other. This keeps TK off the stand. I think that Tony Kline and perhaps Richard Allen knew each other.
Maybe.
I almost think that that's very true about that. I don't know
So-
if TK's involved, but
Right. Well, let me ask you then, because I'm thinking, I would think for Kegan Kline to be associated with Richard Allen, it's bad for Kegan Kline when it comes to potentially facing charges for Delphi, which he does not face right now. So if during the CSAM charges for Kegan Kline, Richard Allen's brought into it, couldn't that actually benefit him if you're the defense attorney, because you could point and be like, oh, well, if you're saying, if Kegan's dad is going to testify against him and say that, Richard Allen and Kegan were working together, that actually puts some of the culpability of the CSAM stuff on Richard Allen. So I don't really see the benefit for Tony Kline to testify against Kegan, anything to do with Richard Allen. I mean, I think that it's very plausible that Kegan didn't want his dad testifying against him because he's scared of his dad.
Well, and Kelly.
And who knows what he didn't want him to say.
Yeah, I mean, Kelly Brown has said, okay, no, let's not get the Kelly Browns mixed up. This is Kelly Aaron, okay, the one that was talking to Kegan Kline in the Miami County Jail, okay, versus the other different Kelly. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. What were you saying, Adam?
Yeah, and who just we read the entire response as well.
Adam, what did you just say? Because it was right there on my brain. I went to go.
I said maybe Kegan didn't want his dad to testify because he is scared of his dad.
Thank you for bringing me back on track. Okay, so that's what I was going to say. So when Kelly Aaron was talking to Kegan, she had said, like, the way that Kegan had said something, you could tell that he was afraid of his dad. Like, my dad doesn't want me to talk to you no more. And it was that feeling of that he was scared of his dad. And so, so that would kind of, fall in line with what you were just saying there.
Right. And what did he tell Barbara McDonald? If there really was a second interview that no, we'd never, because we were always told there was a second interview conducted the next day, but nothing about that's ever been made public. And she was on the witness list. So, what was she going to testify about him telling her?
Right. But also, but why would Kegan Kline throw his dad underneath the bus? Remember, he threw his dad underneath the bus in that interview.
Mm-hmm.
Remember? When he
Reluctantly,
said,
but yes.
Yeah. But it was like, well, would anybody else have, like, would your dad or whatever have access?
He said, friend one, friend one, friend one, friend one, friend one, friend one. And then finally he started talking about his dad.
Oh, can we just ever get some answers? Second interview never happened. His attorney stopped that from happening.
Did he?
Oh, okay. Did he? I don't know. Did he?
Did he?
Did he?
Sorry.
Hello, YouTube.
Did he YouTube? Did he Instagram? Did he TikTok?
Tick there. Yeah. Anyways, I just, what? It's Delphi I want. I mean, obviously I want justice for anyone that, sicko children and stuff like that. I want this to lead into Delphi. That's what I want.
Yep.
I want some answers, and I want them now. I'm sick of it. Okay? They should have had this case done a long time ago. You know, had they followed the right path and pattern. Well, we can't obviously look back, right? I mean, it is what it is. We can sit here and shout from the rooftops all we want about how crappy the LE handled the case and how any misfit loses files, and all of a sudden we forget about Richard Allen and stuff like that. Anyways, It is what it is. Just keeps on keeping on, I guess. The first interview was snuck under the radar without his attorney knowing it was going to happen.
Most likely, absolutely.
Hi, Tech Death Hippie. How are you?
But I don't believe that the new arrested guy in Kokomo is. But I was going to say, even if like I said, I'm not ready to say that Kegan has no connection to Delphi. But even if he doesn't, one benefit to Kegan's arrest, was that it has raised awareness and brought other criminals to justice because of that Dropbox and CSAM ring. Plus, it's opened my eyes to how much of a dime a dozen these like pedophiles are. Yeah, and that are on there, like even in small areas.
Well, who just considering it was the largest CSAM in Indiana. I mean, I'm sure there's quite a few little different rings going on. Right. So who knows if that one person that you put in our members chat or our private chat on Messenger is part of it or not. I definitely think that one guy is, though, that Rippy guy. Remember Rippy?
Oh yeah, James Rippy.
Yeah, James Rippy.
I believe so as well.
Have answered our questions that we'll never get since.
We're gonna need you to go to the hearing on the 30th and sneak a spy pin in.
Yeah, spy pin. Right, exactly. Who just is like a rebel without a cause? She'll do it.
Right.
We didn't say it on here, of course, though. No, just kidding.
She probably knows a bail there.
Yeah. Is there any other questions, you guys, before we get heading off here? I have a dentist appointment in roughly about 15 minutes time here, which is about 5 minutes away. But
so, Sonny, if there's any other breaking news tonight or anything, and you have to come on live, does that mean you're gonna be, hello, my name is Sonny?
Yeah, I know, it's a wisdom tooth. Yeah, suckers. Anyways, it wasn't a tooth that broke, and now I'm just tired of it, so I'm just like, get it out of there. I don't really need it anyway, so whatever. But anyways, I'm a tough cookie. I find the dentist actually quite relaxing, but only the odd time have I ever had pain from a dentist. But anyways, you guys aren't here to talk about dentists, right? Anyways, so yeah. So if there's anything else you guys want to talk about quickly before we go? If not, other than that, again, I'll post the PDF. I'll post the files, I should say, to the
Our private
um,
Facebook.
yeah, our private Facebook group, and I'll put it to the community page as well. I mean, I
Okay.
think I saw Reddit come up, pop up and say Abby and Libby. Oh no, that was to do with Abby and Libby. Not sure what that was about then. Do you think Kate? No, he won't get time served. Absolutely not. I don't believe so whatsoever. There's no way.
Yeah. Like I said, it'll
No.
be interesting to see if they do it concurrent or consecutive. Because he has been in jail for 3 years, almost.
I know, isn't it crazy how, honestly, isn't it crazy though how time flies? You know, don't you think?
Yeah.
Well, like I can't even believe it. It's like even March 15th was like my mom's, February 15th was the day that she passed, and that was like 8 years. And I'm like, wow, you know, even my husband, a month from today, he'll have been here 8 years from England. And it's just, you just like, it's just, you know, that, okay, don't you think though? I don't know. I mean, like, what are the chances that you're not going to say anything and rather sit in jail, especially someone like Kegan Kline, and not fess up information if you had it?
Especially when you're a coward like he is. Because let's all admit, like, Kegan Kline is not. I mean, he looks like he'd be tough built, but he's not a tough person. Like, he's not built for hardship, if you will.
No. I've always taken
that requires work and resilience, and he doesn't have that.
Yeah, that's true. Come on, her. Hopefully, get the faster it goes by. Yep. Oops, hold on. That's my husband. 1 sec.
All right. Right. And Fibro, yeah, he absolutely should have been, but he wasn't. And I don't know the answer to that question, to be honest, Freckle Joy. I don't believe it does, because I can think of one person that served a year in county jail just recently, and it didn't serve double time there. But I'm not sure if that's every county in Indiana, or if it's just different depending on the case. Right. Absolutely, Alexa. I've always said that. He is smarter than he looks, but he doesn't mean he's tough.
I disagree. I totally disagree with that. I know Sleuth Intuition has always maintained that he thought that Kegan Kline was smart. Now, I think what he's smart at is because he became proficient in this whole luring trick and this whole how to get photos out of people. That's the only thing that I think that guy's smart with. Other than that, his writing and his thing, I think he knows that over the time, he knows how to manipulate people to get what he gets. But I don't consider that guy smart whatsoever. Okay, you know what? Let's ask Chat. Chat, one, do you think Kegan Kline is, a pretty smart dude? Or two, do you think that he's not? Simple as that. Smart, street smart for what he's known to do, which is the CSAM stuff, manipulator. So one, if you think he's smart. Two, if you don't really. I don't think he's smart whatsoever. I think.
Well, Sunny, do you see a difference between being smart and being resourceful? Because, I mean, I think you have to be somewhat intelligent to be resourceful.
I wouldn't. Let me put it this way: in no way would I put him on any sort of smart level of what we deem as somebody that has great knowledge, worldly and stuff like that, and vast. I think that I think that there's people like Tierra that are smart at what they do. And like, it's no different than me. Back in the day when I used to do all the All Advantage programs, I had no clue how to do it. The longer I spent doing it, the more I could manipulate time, and we could all get that free money that those stupid things were handing out at the time, back in the day when there was no rules and regulations to the internet. So they had All Advantage and all these things and stuff like that. And I got really good at doing that stuff. I literally was like a little bookie with everyone's names and sitting there manipulating time from 25 hours to 1 second, just like that. But that was gain knowledge. And that's what I think about Kegan Kline, is that because this was his forte, when you spend time maybe on the deep web, you become knowledgeable. But as a worldly person and knowledgeable and smart, absolutely not.
I agree with you 100%.
You guys get what I'm saying, right? When I'm saying that? Yeah. Like listening to, say, Alexa would be smart, that's
Right.
someone that would have a lot of knowledge. So that's what I deem as smart when I deem somebody as smart. Someone like Kegan Kline, no, he's good at what he does because he's been doing it long enough. He knows how to manipulate, but not wise and smart. No.
Well, it's amazing the links that lazy people will go to not have to work. So I mean, you can say that you have to have some sort of well, I always joke that I would think if someone is smart enough to steal someone's identity, why can't they use that intelligence or those resources and do something proactive in life instead of criminal?
Right.
Because I think a lot of people aren't smart enough to even do that stuff. But I guess I think he is more resourceful than I do intelligent. But I don't think
Adam's smart. I would deem Adam as reasonably smart. I think Adam has a lot of knowledge, so I would deem Adam more as smart. Would I deem him up on a level of some of those people that are just blatant nerds that are smart, like book smart, like that? No, but I think Adam has a genuine grasp of knowledge about a lot of different things. Yeah,
I am weirdly smart, but in a weird squirrel way.
Yeah, it's kind of like I'm really good at certain things, but talk to me about the law and all the different things. I really don't know much about it. You guys are the U.S., I'm Canada. Different laws apply, different rules apply, how you do things. So I'm learning. So I'm a person that's always willing, learning to stuff. But I would never hold myself on a high stick for being overly, a smart person. Absolutely not. I think I'm really good at certain things. I know where my personal best traits lie, and that's in people, and just real simply in people and love. Those two things. Those are my best qualities. Okay, people. Adam is awesome. If I was married and he was straight, I would give him my digits. Oh, here we go. It's a dating site all of a sudden.
I like that she accidentally said was married instead of wasn't.
Yeah. They're okay. And who dis? Who dis again? Another person that has a vast amount of knowledge out there. Right.
I never would have. I would have never thought of who dis as a bullshitter. Never would have thought that.
No, if you ask me a question, I tell no lies. That's how I see it. Hello from sunny Florida.
Oh, I forgot Deb was leaving today. I forgot you were here, Deb.
I forgot Deb was in Florida as well. Deb, hello from Canada. Make sure you get a tan for me and have a few drinkies for me.
Wear sunscreen.
Huh?
I said wear sunscreen.
Yeah. Deb, you enjoy your trip there. She's gone for 10 days or something like that. Yeah. I know.
We'll solve Delphi for you while you're gone.
Yeah, no problem, Deb. When you come back, you can worry about some other cases. Yeah, going on. No problem. And again,
I hope she unlocked her basement door before she left.
Ooh. Yeah. Do you think she let Ray out?
Well, I mean, I think there was a couple people down there by now. I hope she let him out, or at least unlocked the door.
Deb, I can stalk you at your house tonight if you're not home. He's Deb. Okay, I really do need to get going here, guys. Because, like I said, my dentist appointment is in 40 minutes now. My husband's going to be home in a few minutes himself with McDonald's. McDonald's. I know. He's just like, I just picked up your vape juice and I'm just going to go get something to eat. And he's like, we're just going to go to McDonald's. You want something? And I'm like, yeah, of course. Before the dentist, obviously. Duh.
Right.
But anyways, you guys, please don't forget about Scotty Morris, the 14-year-old that's missing. Please make sure that you share that to your social media. That's the 14-year-old child that's missing out of Eaton, Indiana. Okay, guys? So anyone that lives near the area and that can help in the search, please do help in the search for, that poor boy. Just feel,
I put a second video out about him this afternoon, and I with the public plea that his mother did on WRTV, I believe it was. So.
Oh, did his mom do one now publicly?
Yeah, and I put the video out a couple hours ago, I guess. So that's probably got the latest stuff in it. So feel free to go over to my channel and check that video out and hit up the like button and subscribe.
I don't know. I think he's possibly at a home. What do you think, Adam? You think he's alive?
My mind is going more and more in that direction, whereas it was pretty far in the other direction yesterday. But I still don't know because I don't think we have a lot of answers.
I know.
I have more questions than I do answers.
Yeah. They weren't his foster parents, right?
No, they were his birth parents.
They were his birth parents.
Yeah, a lot of people have for some reason think that they were his foster parents or he was adopted, but no, his biological parents are the ones he was with.
Yeah.
They didn't get married until I think after the kids were born, but they've been together for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So prayers for Scotty Morris, and hopefully he is found alive and well, and that's the bottom line of it.
I'm going to drop my channel.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, congratulations to Adam, who became monetized today on his channel. So thank you again, you guys, for all that people that are subscribed to Adam and even this channel. Thank you guys all for being subscribers. And if you're not, please consider subscribing. And if you are, thank you guys so much always for your support to this channel. Okay, guys. And is there anything else you want to say before we get going? Yeah, go check out Adam's channel right there, you guys, and maybe go watch the mother's interview in regards to Scotty, because when I did it this morning, there was no interview that I personally saw when I put my video out. But check that out. If anyone's into the Buster Murdaugh and Stephen Smith thing, I put a video out today that came out with Buster, not physically, verbally saying it this way, but he made exclusive whatever interview with whoever it was, Today News or whatever it was.
Right.
One of his family were commenting on a TikTok.
Two of them. I have the screenshots.
Is it the same one that kind of put out stuff yesterday?
No. I mean, they were comments from both his two sisters. Both had made comments on TikTok, on video. So.
Okay.
They were taken down, but yeah, I've got all the original screenshots and everything.
Okay. Sorry guys. I really got to check out of here though. It's 1:11, and yeah, so JLR and Buster will compete in a cage fight next week. All right.
Right.
At Aspen Connor, do you have memberships? Yeah. Well.
No, not yet.
I was going to say, slowly throughout the days, YouTube will start giving him his different things. So let me just actually go to your channel for a second, to be honest. Let me see.
I do know that they polygraphed. I think he was in your video earlier today as well, Sonny, but they did polygraph, I think, both of the parents. So, and they said that, that Scotty didn't have a phone, but, his sister was on TikTok, unless it was a parent pretending to be one of them. But, I think there's just still a lot of questions with this case, because it's a small town. So where is he? And it is spring break. Spring break started the night he went missing.
No, Adam doesn't have membership yet. He has super thanks. And you guys can super chat to him if he's, on his videos and stuff like that. Remember, you guys can do that. Super thanks is doing it a way if you want to support Adam's channel as well. Super thanks through a video, because there's YouTube allows so many different things, like they allow the membership gifting, which is always really nice because that's helping people out that not necessarily have a membership, or can't perhaps afford one. But anyways, it's always about paying it forward lots of times, right, guys? So memberships are always a really nice thing. Super thanks. I know Yorkie always does a few super thanks here and there, so I want to appreciate Yorkie on this as well. And
Thank you,
then
Tony.
there's right to join a membership and whatever, but again, that YouTube will give you that soon enough.
Right.
They roll out a few different things there.
But subscribing and liking is free, and that probably helps, in the long run more than anything. And Tony, thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay.
Sharing the videos too. Sharing the videos helps a lot because it pushes you up in the algorithm, because they see people are interacting with your videos and they're pushing. If you're sending someone's video to someone, or you're putting it on Facebook or something, it helps push you up in the algorithm.
Yeah. Lacey, our set live is for Friday. But me and Adam, we don't know when we're going to do a live. Sometimes during the week, something happens like today, and then we decide that we're going to do a live. We just kind of play it by ear. And because Adam's channel is monetized, I want Adam to allow himself to as well do lives and stuff
Right.
on his own channel. And that's kind of the whole purpose a little bit too, of kind of toning it down, because it takes a lot of time to make videos and do a lot of things. So we have our members on Mondays now instead of Sundays. So Mondays for members only. If anyone wants to become a member, it's $1.99. And our lives are on Friday. So the rest of them are just really YOLO lives, to be honest with you. They're just
like today,
kind of,
something like this happens,
yeah.
or when we're bored. But I probably will
Yeah.
do a live on my channel this week, one night before Friday.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm sure people will too.
Yeah. Okay, you guys. I still gotta go. I still gotta get going though. So you guys, thank you so much. Please give this live a like and a share, and of course, check out with Scotty Morris, and make sure that you guys share that to your social media, and hopefully that this boy can be found alive and well, and that he's just hiding out somewhere. All right, guys.
Right,
Thanks,
yeah.
Alexa.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night or day.
Have fun at the dentist.
Yeah. Oh, and don't forget, I'll post this paperwork. I'll post it to the community page as well as our membership as well. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're welcome. Take care, Julian, and everybody else.
Good night.
Fiber Critter. Blah, 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 blah. Thank you guys so much. Have a good day. All right, I'm gonna do it right this time, Adam. I'm gonna end the live properly without me just taking out.